Hi, I'm Georgie, welcome back to my channel. So lovely to have you here and welcome to day 22 of Wellmas, your wellbeing advent calendar of tips and techniques to help you through the festive period. Now today I wanted to talk to you about gardening and growing things as a way of boosting our mental and physical health. I was going to go outside with you and show you planting the spring bulbs, however it is pouring down with rain today, so I will not be going outside. But one of the reasons I wanted to plant the spring bulbs with you is because yesterday we spoke about the winter solstice and how the winter solstice is a really nice way of looking forward to the spring and looking forward to the new year. So planting spring bulbs, even though it is late, is a really nice way to celebrate the solstice. As I can't go out with you today, I am going to show you some footage of just me doing gardening from during the year. These are all things I've recorded for my Instagram account, so if you're not following me over on Instagram, I will pop my handle on the screen, and I'll also leave a link in the description box below, so don't forget to head over there and follow me for loads of reels and more educational content. Studies have shown that gardening is fantastic for reducing stress, reducing anxiety and boosting low mood. It can also increase your feelings of mastery and accomplishment and your confidence, because as you're growing things, especially if you're growing from seed and you're tending to things and looking after them, then it makes you feel like you have achieved something. And those feelings of achievement will then lead into our self-esteem, our self-confidence. So it's a really good way of boosting those feelings. If you don't have a garden, you can still get the benefits of doing this though. Perhaps you're in a rented garden, or you have more of a courtyard type space, or just a balcony. Growing in pots is an absolutely fine way of creating a really beautiful outdoor space. You're still going to be getting all the benefits, and you are just going to feel a lot more, you're going to be happier with the aesthetic because you've created a really beautiful outdoor environment. Our bodies and our minds respond really well to greenery and plants and living things around us. If you don't have even an outdoor space at all, so perhaps you're in a flat or an apartment building without a balcony, then you can always look at house plants. Now, you won't get perhaps the physical benefits I'm going to talk about in just a moment. However, you will still get really beautiful greenery, really beautiful displays which will cheer you up. You'll also, as you tend them and look after them, you'll get these rewarding feelings of nurturing, and you'll also benefit because houseplants are fantastic air purifiers. If you do have a garden or you want to use container gardening, then it's an opportunity for what is called green exercise. So green exercise is physical activity that happens outside. So whether that's running on a road as opposed to running on a treadmill, whether that is doing gardening and being quite vigorous and so lifting the heavy compost bags, perhaps digging, turning pots over. If you're getting your heart rate up outside, it's called green exercise. And the Essex University, I think it is, they've done some studies and some research into the fact that green exercise is much more beneficial for long-term reduction in stress, anxiety, depression, boosting low mood than when we exercise in an indoor setting. If you do want to look into gardening, some of my top tips are, firstly, there's shrubs and growing things like lavenders and rosemaries and sage and salvias. I find these plants are quite hardy, and you just need to look into their specific care instructions. Obviously, if you're growing them in pots, it's important to feed them in the spring. If you're growing them in the ground, just make sure the conditions are right for them. But then they have themselves other benefits. So obviously rosemary is great for cooking, so is sage. Salvia is so sage is in the salvia family, but salvias are fantastic for wildlife and pollinators, and so is lavender. Lavender is fantastic for wildlife, and you've also got the benefits with lavender that after the flowers have finished, you can always cut it back and you can have it for dehydrated displays, or you can boil it to turn it into like a lavender water, which you can then use as like a misting spray for like a nice relaxing kind of pillow mist. Perhaps you collect the pods, the lavender flower pods, in little bags and put them in drawers to help deter moths, that kind of thing. So these are plants that are beautiful, fairly easy to grow, and have a benefit. If you are getting into flowers, then obviously bulbs are fantastic. Things like daffodil bulbs, muscari bulbs, these things will continuously come back year after year. Tulips are a little bit different, but if you do want to grow tulips, people generally will plant those again fresh every year, but they make a beautiful cut flower to bring inside. And they're also fantastic for some pots. Bulbs, you can create what's called a bulb lasagna, and they will give you a really beautiful display as the year goes on, so have a look into that as well. Me personally, I love growing fruits and vegetables, so I have a little patch of my garden that is dedicated to that. However, there is loads of things, things like permaculture, where like the fruit and vegetables are grown in with the other plants, and you can look at ways to grow fruit and vegetables in a really beautiful aesthetic way. So if you are short on space, say for example in a balcony, then but you want to grow some vegetables, then you can have a little look into some of the ones which would be great for that and how you can grow. Lastly, there is an opportunity with gardening for a community and a social aspect. So if you don't have space or much space, then you could always look at getting an allotment. Now I know allotments aren't always, especially where I live, allotments are really hard to get hold of and they have sometimes quite long waiting lists. However, they are a really great opportunity to meet people, and it's your own outdoor space that you can go to and treat as your own. There are also have a community garden project, so I'll put a link to a few community garden project websites so you can just meet other people, share your skills, share your knowledge, learn from them, and also meet like-minded people. Okay, hopefully that has been helpful for you, maybe given you some ideas for something to try in the spring and the new year for improving our mental and physical well-being. If you have enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 23.